Please rise. Court is now in session.
Love, strength, Fighting for Justice is the podcast. Fighting spell with a PA. Serving Philly in the counties, in the tri-states. Speak to change people's minds, yeah, we don't see hate. If you ever want to question law, yeah, let's debate.
We're live.
We're back. What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fighting for Justice. Have to apologize for this view right here. We trying
The wonderful
to squeeze
layout.
in. We're working on a bigger space, so stick with us.
We'll have a new studio
temporary.
hopefully next week. See what happens.
We'll see.
We'll call it a studio.
Exactly.
It's going to be the
It's
studio.
going to look like a studio.
Yeah.
Part of it.
We'll see. Pray for the best.
So what you got on
So
the
let's
plate
jump
today,
on.
man?
All right, so we got two topics about abortion. I think let's jump into like kind of a lighter one. So there was a pregnant woman in Texas who was pulled over because she was in the car by herself, right?
Yeah.
And
In the HOV lane, right?
Yes, and she was in, and she said that her fetus counted as another person to put her in the carpool lane.
Yeah.
I say that's pretty genius.
Fuck yeah.
I agree.
I don't think there's
I
gonna
loved
be,
reading that. I loved reading that article. I loved reading that article.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of discussion on this one because, like,
Yeah.
that's what you get.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I don't like, but like also now, what if you're a cop and you're like, if I was a woman, look, I'm pregnant, so I'm in this lane. What are they gonna like ask for?
I mean, if you're showing,
But what
I
if you're
wouldn't.
not?
I wouldn't.
What
Well,
if, what
I
if you're
mean,
not pregnant? What are they gonna do?
they're gonna be like, all right, let's go get a pregnancy test. Because I'm writing this citation, one way or the other.
That's so rude. There are tons of women who don't show though. Maybe not tons, but there are some.
All I hope is that she did it on purpose, right? Like, I hope she was like, you want to pass this bullshit law, then I'm driving in this lane, and this will be my defense.
All day,
Yep.
every day.
Yeah.
I say kudos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Good
that
for
was-
you. Keep it up. Do it again.
Now the dark side of this one. So there was Ohio, I think.
Oh, yeah.
There was a 10-year-old who was raped, and because of the restrictions in Ohio and their law, she had to travel to Indianapolis to get an abortion because she couldn't get one in her state.
Right.
Yeah.
So multiple problems, obviously, that the high-powered people actually got on the internet and said things like, she's making this up. We're not really sure if she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Although, wasn't someone already arrested and charged?
No, I don't think so.
No, they did arrest somebody.
They did today. They did.
They arrested the dude that raped her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But during
imagine a world where like
so the part that is hilarious, what's his name? Jim Jordan, the mouthpiece of
President Trump, former President Trump.
he tweeted and said it was a lie, right? He said just another lie by the Democrats or something like that. But then on top of that,
What part of it was the whole thing was a lie?
Yeah, that basically was
That
made
they didn't
up.
arrest somebody?
No, it didn't happen yet.
right that like
Right.
All right.
So then,
Okay.
and he was basing it off of the Attorney General of Ohio, right? Who said, I don't know of any investigations that are going on related to that, right? So then everybody's like, see, it was made up. And then he got arrested a couple days later, and they all deleted their tweets. You know what I mean? The Attorney General tweeted something like, he tweeted like one sentence. He's like, it's always a great day when we get pedophiles off the street or something. And then like, we just act like that was it. Like the first time in history.
So I
when
wonder if
somebody
the Ohio Attorney General is a Republican or a Democrat.
I would assume Republican.
I would
but
assume
don't know.
too, based
My
on
guess. But I
based
don't
on
know.
prior communications that he's made.
Right, but think
But-
what that means though. In what
They took the
world
side of the
would an
rapists,
attorney general take the side of like where defense attorneys stand
Yeah,
all
like,
the
this
time?
didn't
Of,
happen.
like this
This is made
10-year-old is lying. Like that's basically what they got on the internet and said. Like, listen, that she made it up.
Well, or did he
Or-
say
or
that, or
the
he just
entire person
did he
is
say
made up.
that, or he just come out and say we don't have any? I can't confirm that there was ever an investigation into these
That's
allegations.
basically that's what he.
That's
said.
different than saying she's lying.
Okay, so you're telling me that an attorney
It is.
general can't actually call the district attorney and say, "Hey, are you guys investigating
Well,
this?"
that part is insane.
I mean,
here's
he
what
could,
but
but-
here's
Like,
what
so
I'm.
you would never come out into the media with that high of a power and not talk to, like he had to have like known.
Well, also,
or he should have known it.
Did he give a public statement, or was it just a tweet?
I believe it was a public statement. I don't
All
know.
right. See, we need.
There's no
okay.
difference.
I fundamentally agree with you guys here, so I'm not really like.
It's not different.
I don't think
though.
we're
I know.
debating it.
Listen. I know you're 60, and you don't think that Twitter is
Right,
the
like,
same
once
as
you-
speaking. But it's the same thing as giving a public statement.
Exactly.
No, okay. Well, no, I agree with that. I agree with
Right?
that.
Well, that's all. So, like, I don't know if you tweeted it or if you said it, but either way, if you
said it.
said
In
it.
fact, I think Twitter nowadays is even more powerful than giving. I mean, look what happened with January 6th. I mean,
Absolutely
that was all based on
so,
Twitter bullshit.
Part of me, like, just to believe, like, that he knows every investigation that's going on because he's Attorney General.
He
Like,
can't possibly.
that's what I mean.
You think Josh Shapiro knows every rape investigation
That's
in
what I
the
mean.
state? I mean, there's no
Right,
way.
And-
but
well,
there's
but
no
what
way
I'm
he would
saying-
come out and say what this man said because
What?
you don't know.
Yeah,
Or if you before you said it, you would
you
look
think
in,
you would at least call? Would be
right?
my-
You'd be like, hey,
You don't call the district
before I
attorney.
say that.
But did he
this
know
is-
what? But that's,
Don't know.
You're attributing to him a lot of knowledge he may not have had. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
And
saying.
that's his fault.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Like,
also
he
it's
knows
insane
his
for you to
power.
make a statement like
Right.
that without at least looking into it.
Right.
Right.
Like
So,
a
okay.
regular Joe Schmo, okay, I get how, but he knows his job. He knows what the attorney like. He does the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
I would
literally like the district attorney being like, yeah, I know that if this happened, the attorney general probably would have called me. So now I'm going to put this. I give you a lot more credit because you are the attorney general. So if you came out and said something,
I would at least
because
hope
you're,
you
like,
investigate.
Exactly.
But-
because I got to give it more credit because you're the AG.
Yeah.
So but you're saying the AG's role is to supervise all the other district attorneys in the state?
No,
That's not
I'm
right.
saying
That's-
here's
that's
all
not right.
I'm on. His,
incorrect.
I just think you're because here, look at it this way: if you're going to come out and give that statement, I don't care where it was, you better have at least did your investigation, which leads me to believe you didn't.
Right.
You couldn't have, right? You couldn't have called the DA and been like, "Hey, man."
What DA? Does he even know what DA to call?
But that's what I'm saying. So, but you gave the statement.
Right.
You said there's no investigation going on that I know of.
All right. I got
Right?
you. I got
see what I'm saying? So, like, you either didn't call, or,
Which is what I guarantee was what happened.
yeah,
Which
or
makes it worse.
or the other side is what you called and,
And
the
they
DA,
lied to
yeah, they were like, we're not investigating that, and then 3 days later they're like, by the way, we arrested someone.
Okay.
Like,
Right. To me, that makes it worse because you should know better.
yeah,
Like
I don't blame Jim Jordan because that guy.
No,
just-
but I'm.
he goes like this.
Well, that,
Right.
but again, a totally different political.
I agree.
Right.
I mean,
He'll say whatever he wants. Like, of course,
or,
Democrats.
no,
made
he'll
that
say
up.
whatever he's told to say by.
Yeah, like of course,
right.
Democrats made that up. I mean, got it.
Yeah, I mean, this is my long-winded way of saying, guys, be careful of like misinformation. Like, just because somebody says some shit doesn't mean that it's accurate. And sometimes there are really powerful people. There are people who we give kind of like big titles and big names, and because they may tweet something or they may come on television and say something, we give it a little bit too much credibility.
Yeah, you should give it none. I don't know. You should at least look into it.
Yeah,
Right?
or
You
just-
should always look into shit sometimes. Like,
Just
all
think
the
for
time.
yourself.
You should always look at.
Just think for yourself.
But I also, it kind of brings me on what we've always been arguing back and forth about. Like, are we okay living in a country where you got to travel to a different state when you get raped to have an abortion? Like, I know I'm not. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like
Yeah,
that's insane that you're expected to have a rape baby.
Oh, you know what else I saw that kind of drove me crazy is that I read that he tried to defend Ohio's abortion laws because I'm gonna have to paraphrase. I don't remember exactly, but it basically says that there has to be like extraneous circumstances,
Sure.
which, as we know, like can kind of mean anything. You have to.
So
kind
was
of
he saying
prove
that
it.
she could have?
Right?
That's what he said.
Yeah, he was saying that like under their law, she could have had one.
Hopefully the 10-year-old, or how old is she?
I was about to
Hopefully
say,
she's
she's
a lawyer.
10.
Right. So, but even still, this is the worst thing somebody's little girl's going through. The parents, I can't imagine what they're trying to figure out how to do. Do they even know the law very well? Like,
And what do you have to prove? What do you have to have a court
do
case
they know?
quick?
That's what I'm saying. But like, and then how do they even go out proving it?
It's
Like, are
just,
you gonna-
it's just insane. That's
yeah,
like,
it makes something that's already insanely hard worse.
it's just insane. Right? You're gonna have the baby of somebody who rapes you. Okay.
or your brother,
Yeah,
or your
that's what I mean.
brother's
Or-
baby.
I was gonna say, or incest. Like that's
Like-
just
Yeah.
Like the thought of that is disgusting.
Yeah, we're going down a real scary slope.
So hopefully we figure it out.
Well, hey, it's not actually in the Constitution, guys. Remember. In 1776, the guys didn't actually write in there, you know, that there's a fundamental right to an abortion in our country. So, you know, we can't just interpret it that there should be.
Let's talk about this quick.
This one-
you know what?
this
Because
one-
we
yeah.
want to talk about it, but now we have 3 people here. Let me ask you. Roe versus Wade. I know everybody says they brought up, like, your constitutional right to privacy. But was that actually the argument?
Which side? What do you argue? What do you
Not
mean?
well, there's only one side. You know
Who?
what I
You mean the five justices that said that
Sort
we
yeah,
overturn
like
it?
the opinion itself. I know they mentioned the right to privacy, but I just don't feel like it was decided that way.
I think it was. I mean, that was.
I think that's part of the problem. Am I wrong?
They said that they recognize that there's still a fundamental right to privacy that you can kind of draw from the Constitution, but they're saying that the right to an abortion is not so ingrained in our culture
Yeah.
over the last 250 years that's not.
But it's almost like a 2-part analysis. Like you have the right to privacy, but then you
But-
don't
but-
have
but-
the right to
But
abortion.
without getting like too legal.
Yeah, we don't want to
right?
get too far in the weeds
Without
on
getting
this.
too much, like at this point, I think is very simple. Is that fuck what they said at the beginning? Like we're making something way too hard.
Well, that's where I
Listen,
was kind of going with
There
it.
is in no world.
Who is, though?
If
What
I
do-
like just generally, we're making this hard. If there was something inside of me that was killing me, tell me a world where I couldn't go cut it out.
Well,
At that basic level, that is my constitutional right. Because we aren't capable of doing it, we say, oh, well, it's not there. Yes, it is. It's just that simple. Like, there's nobody going to tell us that if you have cancer, you can't cut it out.
Yeah, it's a
so
medical
why
decision.
are we? So it's a medical decision. Simple, plain,
But
leave it alone.
and that's where I was kind of going, right? Because my question, and I don't think we'll know the answer off the top of our heads, but like when the lawyers went in there, is that specifically what they argued, right? Because I feel like there might be room for a new legal argument, right? Instead of framing it like we have the right to abortion, we have the right to this. Is there a different way to argue this?
I don't think you have a winning legal argument with this Supreme Court.
No, okay. Let me take that back. It doesn't matter how you argue it in front of them. They'll be like, "I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to be creative." It's
Right.
Still,
well,
an
they
abortion.
were. That's how they argued it in 1973, and they were creative about it. And the court was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. We can get creative too." And then we got, fast forward. That's this crazy thing. We go forward 40 years
Yeah.
in our culture to go backwards
snatched
200.
us. Yeah,
right? Like it's yeah, you're right. I mean, it's almost impossible to actually think logically about what's going on.
That's what I mean.
Right.
And
And it's like, but the only thing clear in the Constitution is the right to have a fucking firearm.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing. That's the only thing that these assholes will agree
yeah,
that's actually in there.
you're right.
Right.
But when it
Not
comes to abortion, well, it's not actually in there. So
Right.
we
Not
don't
wrong.
think we're not going to give you the right. But hey, don't they
Firearms.
were clear. Everybody and their fucking mom can have a gun.
True.
Actually, you can have 50,000 guns if you
Right.
want.
You're not wrong.
There's nothing more than like dumb luck timing. If they had been around,
Yeah.
if they were like more technologically advanced than they were, and
Yeah.
they had all these.
Think
fucking
about it
machine
if, like-
guns,
think
they
about
were
it if, like-
no way.
Think about it in like if 2022, if these guys sat down and were like, all right, let's write the Constitution now.
Yeah.
Like think about how fucking different that document would
Right. None of us should have to worry about fucking slavery.
Yeah. Right.
But here's the saddest reality. If we blow up the Constitution, I gotta make sure there's a good percentage of minorities, because I'm not convinced that if I send all white people in, that I'm not going backwards hundreds of years.
be. Right now, you probably
Fuck that.
depends on which white people, but yeah, you're right.
You all look the same to me.
But you've got
I know you guys are different, but like if I don't actually know you, fuck. So
well, I mean, look, man, there were no minorities involved when they wrote the thing in the first
you
place,
can tell.
and
No women.
no women.
No women were allowed
Right.
in that room.
Which is the other crazy shit about all this is
Exactly.
you got a black justice
Yeah.
ruling deciding this stuff
Yeah.
and a woman
Yep.
that are both like, nah, let's go back to the Stone Age, guys. Like we
But I
can't. This is
always
too crazy.
say that like it's
Right.
there's clearly minorities and women who support this shit.
Lots.
I
lots.
don't, right? Like we can't sit here and discount
Tons.
that, our opinion is the majority because clearly it's I won't say it's split evenly, but there's a good percentage of people who are still like that's the way to do it.
On abortion or on firearms?
On abortion. Firearms. Like,
Yeah.
firearms, I don't know. Like, whatever.
Since we're on the topic of talking about like high power people who are doing some fucked up things, did you guys see that there was a Brazilian doctor that was filmed putting his part
Oh man, you
in
sent
the
me
mouth
this.
of like one of the patients while she was like knocked out. So like how they have like the
Yeah, well,
cover up sometimes. So like one.
it was
doctor could be on one
for
side.
it. Was she was getting a C-section, so they had like the
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
up
yeah.
too. So like the other doctors couldn't see him. You know what I mean? Because he's the anesthetist.
Right.
Right, and he sent me the video, and he's like, "Just watch this." Right, I can add it in here so everybody can see it. But I was just like, my first question, by the way, right? It's a video of him, and the first thing I texted him, right? I said, "Who in God's name fucking taped this?" Right, like who was like, "Can't believe he's doing it."
But I think if you look at it, I think somebody's recording. Like,
Is it like a surveillance
phone.
camera, maybe?
My guess is somebody like recorded it or like thought something was happening and put up a camera.
Yeah,
and,
or
like,
that's what I was
recorded
wondering,
the
and recorded the recording.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hoping, because like if somebody's
Here's
just
my
standing
thing.
there, like
this was definitely not his first time. He was bold in the middle of the like.
Well, no shit. What like when
That
do you
was
do,
not
when does
his
that just
first
pop
time.
into your head? That was the first time. You know he's gonna say that. It's like all the child predators.
Right.
How many times have you contacted
Right.
kids? This is my first time.
I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Haven't
So
gone home sewed in special pockets.
yeah. So this was the first. It just popped in your head. You were like, "Oh, this is a good opportunity,"
To throw my entire career away and
and
go to fucking jail.
directly to jail.
No, he perfected this, which is the worst part.
Because think about how long it takes to become. I mean, at least in the United States, how long you have to go to school and train to become an
Yeah,
anesthesiologist.
absolutely. So
Because you literally have the patient's life in your hands
Right.
during the entire procedure
Correct.
for everything that you're doing. So think about like
yeah, he went through all of that so he could do
all of that. Now Brazil, it may be like you go to you take Brazil, it could be like you take an online course and they're like, yeah, here's your we'll see you at the hospital tomorrow. But
I
like,
didn't know that. I actually didn't know it was in Brazil when you sent that to me. But
where did
either
you think
way.
it was? You thought I was in the States?
Yeah, that's
Really?
I was
wouldn't
like,
be
oh.
surprised. We got some.
I was
pretty
like,
raw people here,
holy
too.
shit.
I mean, yeah, you got that.
Because my
everywhere,
first
but yeah.
question, I was like, ask Josh, like, who can somebody sue? Like, can you sue the hospital?
Yes, great question.
Yeah, I guess you got to. Yeah, of course you can, but you got to figure out what are the because the woman's knocked out. She has no idea it's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are her like? I guess you have to determine how many. Like, is this something that was seen throughout the entire world? I guess it was, since it's on the internet now.
Yeah.
It's just going to be hard to like figure out what her actual, what claims you would make. I mean, because like, what are damages? Like, how do you show?
So,
Ever
like-
done EEID? Ever? I've only like
intentional emotion
yeah,
distress.
I've only
Well, my
ever,
question,
But you,
you kind of have
she
to
doesn't
witness
know what's
something.
going on,
That's what
though.
I mean.
So-
like, she didn't know.
which I'm sure is in this guy's mind too.
the distress would be like us knowing, right? Like
Yeah, but I don't-
damage
Yeah,
that
but the
she's
law,
going
the law's weird on that. Like
The
it doesn't.
example they always give you is you see like your son or daughter
Get
get
run
hit
over.
because you
Right.
Yeah.
witnessed it, right? You're not witnessing this.
Yeah, but that is an old understanding of how the brain works, right?
But here's my question:
Just
Is this?
because I
It's
see
an
it, that's
intentional
not the
tort,
only
right?
way I can witness
Yeah, it's
something.
it's battery.
Yeah,
It's
and
bad. I mean, he actually like touched her with his dick?
I
in
believe
his mouth.
believe
Put
so.
it in her
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah,
You
it's-
can't see it in the video because
mean,
like
that's what it
you know.
says,
Yeah, it's
but that's what it says.
yeah, it's battery. It's an unwanted touching.
But here's
Like, yeah,
my
it's-
question: even if she doesn't have damage, can't punitive damages? And keep in mind, I don't know any of this stuff I'm saying. That's why I'm asking
Right,
you.
right, right.
Yeah, but punitive damages isn't going to. I mean, like you'd have to go after the doctor and like the hospital. You can't sue the hospital for
Oh,
the
like,
doctor's like reckless. Like
I hear you.
like there's negligence, right?
yeah.
And then there's like reckless like negligence, like that. Like the hospital would be like, yeah, no way are we part. Like a judge would cut them out of that.
Sure.
What
So
if you could
punitive
prove, like,
damages-
They knew. What if you could prove they knew?
I mean,
they
if-
didn't fire him.
Then the
Oh, well,
dude. I mean, that's then you've got a career case. I mean, like if
Yeah.
you can show the hospital knew that this guy had whipped his dick out before and didn't fire him, yeah. I mean, you're taking down everybody at that point.
yeah. I mean, that's
You're
a
yeah.
retirement case.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
probably
lawyers.
yeah.
So if y'all know anybody that's had that situation and you don't know what to do,
Right.
hit us up. We got you.
But yeah.
Apparently, that's a retirement case, and I'm trying to retire.
Yeah.
And it's also blatantly criminal, and
Yeah.
so
Because I think
Which-
it would be hard to sue the hospital, but
well, because it's an intentional act.
That's an
So
intentional
it's not negligence.
you would have.
But
to
we're
show
again, we're
they
talking
knew.
about this country. I mean, who knows what the laws are in Brazil? But like,
Yeah.
I mean, in this country, it'd be very difficult because it's intentional act. He's going to get charged criminally, So it's not. I mean, you can argue it goes well above and beyond just simple negligence. It's not. It's not like it's a mistake. Like my dick whipped out.
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot to zip my pants up, and you know, one thing happened. One thing led to another.
Yeah,
And it's
I got
not.
you.
So,
Fair enough. All right,
but I did not see that story though. That's crazy.
all right, so new topic. So I think it's kind of funny that from what we do as criminal defense attorneys, we get to see like technology change and the crimes kind of change with it, right? So like people get really, really creative trying to scam people for money. So now what I'm finding is that like a lot of people are like texting me from random numbers, right? Oh, Jocelyn, are you there? And I'm like, wrong number. But the conversation weirdly doesn't end. Like, oh, so this was the wrong number. Like, what? You're not Jocelyn? That's why I said wrong number. Oh, I'm so sorry. Start explaining.
No. Don't explain.
I don't say anything at this point.
Yep.
No, I said no
Blocked.
worries. Bang. Left again. Oh, you seem so nice. I'm Erica. What's your name?
Well, right there's your flag, bro.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
First
cut
of
it
all,
off.
exactly.
Like
If you-
that's it.
If you
Blocked.
Get, yeah, I was gonna say at that moment
They want money.
Done.
They're trying to get money, and yeah,
But wait, I was
or your
so-
PIN numbers and shit. Like no.
If I wasn't this old now though, the younger JJ might have went further.
Very true.
Yo, they could have got me.
Yeah, dude.
I'd have been right down to that's Jay. What's up?
Yeah.
Right? But,
What,
like,
what
now
are you,
I'm
what are you
like-
doing right now?
yeah, do you want to hang out?
Yeah.
$100 to Uber over here.
Okay,
Cash
yeah,
at me.
yeah, absolutely. I'll send
I
it.
could have got scammed. 27-year-old JJ would have got scammed.
Here's my address.
Yeah.
Here's $100. Just call me when you get here.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And then whoever just disappeared off the face of the planet, and that number got changed. And you just sent some 12 Russians in a room $100, and they're laughing like stupid American.
So like I've gotten it like.
I'm
4
glad you
times.
brought. Hold on, I gotta look. Keep going.
Oh, God, I was about to say, I've gotten that text kind of like 4 times with.
Where they keep the conversation going though?
Yeah,
Or
after I've said wrong number, I get more text messages. Now sometimes like I block it so that it doesn't happen, but like I think the first and second time I blocked it, the third time didn't say anything after like I said wrong number, but this fourth one kept going. And that was why I was like, all right, something's no.
So like,
He's
Yeah.
scamming now.
Yeah.
so this is my best friend's brother, right? And I'm glad you brought this up because he sent me a screenshot of his text with one of these numbers, and like, dude, this shit's hilarious. I'm glad you brought this up. So he got a text that says, "Hi Wendy, today is Alice's birthday. Remember party in Venice this afternoon, right?" So it's the same same
about
kind of
something
thing,
else.
right?
Honest
Like
mistake.
this isn't me. So he doesn't respond like we do because he's not a normal human being. So he says, "I need you to keep our secret at the party." And then friend wrote that. Yeah. And then the response is, "What? Do we have any secrets?" Question mark. And he wrote, "Well, maybe it's no big secret to you, but I've never chugged hobo piss before." And they just respond. And then the funny thing is this person stopped responding. They never asked for money. They never got to that point. So, I think you just need to be creative with your responses, and you won't have that problem.
Right. You gotta be batshit crazy as soon as they start texting you.
Yeah, you either go batshit crazy, or like Dave was saying, you just say, "Well, wait a minute. How about I just give you my bank account and my credit card number and my social security number right now? Will that fix everything?"
Yeah, no matter what it
And
is.
see what
Like,
the response is.
hey, we have that party tomorrow. Okay, do you need money?
so you need my bank account? Yeah.
I'll send you a couple thousand.
Wait, where should I write the check out to?
Where should I send this money?
Where should I send the money?
But wait, like the scams have come so far because technology's gotten so good, right? Like back when the internet first started, it used to be the African Prince. Y'all remember that scam?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right? And
I have so much money that I need to send you money so that way,
You can send it back
you
to
can send
me.
it back. Yeah, totally. Everything's
I'll
fine.
send you this $50,000 check. You cash it,
Yep.
and you give me 40. You keep 10 because the bank's coming after you for the 50 anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that scam still happens.
It is.
They just
it
do
does
it in
still
different
happen.
forms. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, hey, we'll have this meeting, but I need you to pay my friend, $300, and we're going to give you a contract and give you $1,000, and then, all of a sudden you take your money back, and then the bank's like, hey, you owe us all that money. And then you call the police and they go,
Yeah, too bad.
hey, you shouldn't have sent that money.
No, yeah.
I feel like the biggest scam right now is being a middleman. In today's technology, like, it's very rare that you should have to pay a middleman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's too many things that just give you what you need. And when I find, like, the scammers or somebody's plan is like, if I have to pay you a price just because you, like, sent me to this person and you're not an actual and the person you didn't send me to was not a professional, good chance it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, well, they make a good living doing it,
They do.
My friend's mom called. She needed to call eBay, and she Googled a phone number, and it was eBay's customer service, and they immediately were like, oh, we can fix your problems. We just need your account information and your credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, there
And
you go.
luckily, she called my friend and was like, hey, so this is what they're telling me to do. And he's like, dear God, don't call them back. Don't give them anything. Like, that's not eBay, right? But, if you don't pay attention.
I feel like this is our job for our generation to tell his generation, can you guys not get scammed? All right, like, tell the people your age and up, like, listen, this technology thing, it makes, like, everything. My grandma, she won't put a credit card. She won't put, like, she does not like putting any information out because she's afraid of everything. I'd rather you be like that than to like play in our world of like, my grandma will get scammed, like, because she just doesn't belong in this technology. Like, be overly scared because so much bad can happen is how I feel. Like, that's I'd rather her come to me and be like, hey, Jay, I need to buy okay, I'll put it on my credit card, no problem, because if I give you your credit card and you put out on the internet, you're going to help this prince in Zamunda.
Right.
Like,
man, there's a lot of people out there that'll do anything not to have a job, bro. Like, so
right.
that's all they do all day is try to just scam people.
That was my first plan.
To just scam people.
Yeah.
And then I went to law school.
That's a different way of scamming people.
It is. You beat me to it. I was
Yeah.
going to say we scam too.
It's all the same, sort of.
All right.
Well, let's leave it at that.
Hopefully next time we'll be in our new studio.
You stole his line, man.
He did.
He was gonna hit that one home, and you jumped in.
I mean, but typical.
I'll play
The
JJ.
white guy
Ready? I'll play JJ.
steals
Ready?
from-
Peace out. Yo, be safe. Fighting for justice.
Be blessed. Stay safe.
Dream got a team that they do this all day. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor was amongst us. We fight to shine light, so bright to fight injustice. Opinions big and small, we want them all. Please confront us. Questions on the law, JJ, who you call? Come and get your justice. Fight, 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 fighting for justice.